Hello, viewers. This is Sincere Michael from Screen Review, bringing you a new podcast on my segment called the Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to breathe so hard during this audio podcast recording, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. And I'll say it again. If you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will change your adult language. Before I begin, I'd like to explain why I'm late with this review. Cause usually the latest sub of every Super Sentai series usually comes out on a Monday. So basically the latest episode came out on Monday. It came out today. So basically this let you know that's the reason why I'm late doing this review, because the sub of the latest episode of the current Sentai series being Lupinranger versus Patranger didn't came out on Monday. It came out today. So basically, this is the reason why I'm doing this podcast late. So just to let you know. Anyway, with that out the way, let's get into the latest episode of Lupinranger versus Patranger, episode 46. So basically, this episode starts off. We see the Good Striker flying around town and spotted Ranger X at a temple shrine. So basically, the Good Striker fly into Ranger X's hand, and like, what you doing here? So Ranger X say that, me and the listeners are gonna, we're gonna go to the shrine right behind me and wish us good fortune in this new year. So basically, so that's when the Lupinranger showed up and whatnot. Now Lupinranger was wearing a kimono, just to help her with her wish for good fortune in this new year. So anyway, when they're about to head up to the shrine, they saw a bunch of people were screaming, running, so they went to check it out. Turned out it was a gang with foot soldiers, being the Puddleman. The Puddleman, that's the name of the foot soldiers. Now I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong of the foot soldiers. Please forgive me. So anyway, the Puddleman, one of the Puddleman was a safe head Puddleman. Now these special foot soldiers had, just like the gang with monsters, they have a safe, but instead of having a safe on a body, which I call a body safe, he had a head safe. So basically, his head was a safe. So basically, his head is a safe. So basically, this Puddleman had a safe as a head. So the Ranger X and the Lupinranger showed up and tried to steal. And tried to steal the listing item from the safe Puddleman's head safe, but the Puddleman, the safe Puddleman used to activate his listing item inside his safe head and sucked the Ranger X and the Good Striker inside some video game, into a video show dimension. So basically, the safe Puddleman said that the only way out of this dimension is you guys have to complete 5 challenges. So basically, with no other choice, the Lupinranger Ranger X, along with the Good Striker, will have to complete these 5 challenges to order to get out of this this video show dimension. So anyway, so basically, it turns out that the listed item, that the safe Patranger had was to that takes you to a game show dimension, and you play games in this dimension. So basically that's it. So basically they have to do 5 challenges in order to get out of this video show dimension. So anyway, meanwhile, when back at the Patranger's headquarters, Patranger finally had enough evidence to convince the other So anyway, back at the Patranger's headquarters office, Patranger finally had enough evidence to prove to the rest of the Patrangers and Commissioner Hilltop that the workers at the beach restaurant, being the Lupinrangers, are actually are the real Lupinrangers. So basically, Patranger presented his evidence to Commissioner Hilltop and the rest of the Patranger. So basically, he said over 2 years ago, 2 years ago, he said 2 years ago, it's that time frame that the Lupinranger debut. So basically, 2 years ago, Lupinranger's best friend, Lupinranger's fiance, and Lupinranger's older brother went missing during this time period. So basically, during this same time period, that's when the Lupinranger showed up. So basically after I had during this time, I was told by Ranger X that the Lupinrangers are the reason why the Lupinrangers are collecting the Lupin items in the first place to bring back their loved ones. So therefore, that the people who work at the bistro restaurant, who are the Lupinrangers, are really all the Lupinrangers. So basically, Patranger was like, we tried to prove that before, and it turns out they wasn't the Lupinrangers, but that's what Patranger said, that you forget when the Lupinrangers used the good striker, they make copies of that Lupinranger who use it. So basically, we got tricked before. So basically, but still, Patranger saying like, but all the other time. So basically, like all the other time, so basically, Patranger was pointing at the other times that we, just point out all the times that proves that the people who work at the beach spot, being the Lupinrangers, are the Lupinrangers, or really are the Lupinrangers. So basically, Patranger and Commissioner Hill was kind of a bench of Patranger's evidence, but Patranger and Patranger was not kind of a bench until Patranger saw a picture, saw a younger. Until Patranger saw a picture of a young Lupin Yellow, and she realized that wait a minute. So basically, she had a flashback during the episode when the Game Witch Monster turned the Lupinranger into little kids. So basically, this is the So basically, this was the thing. So basically, this was the thing. Girl, this, so so basically, like so basically, this was the same girl. So basically, this was the girl I was taking care of that time. So basically, so basically, that's when Pat the Red said. Pat the Red said. So basically, none of those little kids, that we walked back here trying to find their parents and whatnot. So basically, she realized that that little girl was actually lifting yellow. So basically, the other two boys the other little boys was lifting blue and lifting red as little kids. So basically, when she realized that she faded, she turned red and faded and landed on her head. So anyway, meanwhile, the Patrangers and Ranger X was starting their challenges. So basically, the first challenge is to indicate the toughest person you guys. So basically, they pull their challenges out a box. So basically, the first challenge to indicate the toughest person that they know. So basically, Ranger X imitated Pat the Red. So basically, you got to agree that he imitated Pat the Red, and they passed the challenge. So basically, there's Pat the Red. Pat the Red is the toughest person that we all know. So basically, they passed the first challenge. Now the second challenge was to build the toughest shoe. What was the toughest moment in their lives? So basically, this is what was the toughest challenge in their lives. So basically, that's when the Lupinranger said the toughest. That's when the Lupinranger X saying the toughest challenge in their life was the whole lifting magnum challenge. So basically they passed the second challenge but no problem. So basically the third challenge is to for the boys to show off their female side. So basically, lifting yellow just lifting red, lifting blue, and reject into drags, and help lifting red, help lifting blue, and reject, dressed up in drag, and they passed the third challenge. Now, so basically they passed the third challenge with no problems. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the Patranger's office, after Peppa Pig became to gain consciousness, after Patrick Pink got treated for her head, landing on her head and whatnot, after passing out and whatnot, blah blah blah, after all the evidence. So basically, Patrick Green. Meanwhile, back at the Patranger's headquarters / office, Pat the Pink. So basically, Pat the convinced Pat the Pink and convinced the Hilltop that the people who work at the beach who are the Lupinrangers really are the Lupinrangers. But Patrick Green was still not convinced that that they really are the Lupinrangers. So basically, once again, Patrick was pointing out facts So basically, when I was stuck in the dream world, when that monster who put me in Listen Yellow in that dream world, I saw her, I saw the girl. I saw the girl who worked at the restaurant being Listen Yellow inside my dream world. So basically, Patrick kept on pointing out events that certain events that Patranger that the Lupinranger were involved, certain events that the Lupinrangers were involved in. So basically, all the facts pointed that the people who work at the bistro restaurant actually who are the Lupinrangers already are the Lupinrangers. So basically, practically you do make good points, but still practically is still not but practically is still but so basically Patrick agree with Patrick Red. All those events due points to them being the Lupinrangers, but I still don't believe that they are the Lupinrangers. So anyway, meanwhile back in the game show dimension, so for the fourth challenge for the Lupinrangers and Ranger X is to show off the prizes that they won. So basically, they picked out the box for their fourth challenge to say show off the purchase that they want. So basically, that must mean all the listed items here that they gathered, not that they had on them. So basically, they show off all the listed items that they use to defeat the game with monsters, or monsters, in battle and whatnot. So basically, that's when the Puzzleman says, that's when the Puzzleman says had tricked it turns out it was tricked by the Puzzleman Stagehead. So basically he took all the list of items that from the Lupinrangers and Ranger X and bring it back to So basically, the Stagehead Puzzleman tricked the Lupinrangers into showing off the listed items that they use to take down the game with, and got it out of the video show dimension and back to the human dimension. So anyway, basically, the Puzzleman told the Lupinrangers and Ranger X that you guys will be stuck in here forever. So anyway, back in the real world, the Stagehead Puzzleman was happy that he got all the list items from the Lupinrangers and Ranger X. That proves the good striker. So basically, the good striker, forced the Stagehead Puzzleman to free the. So basically, the good striker forced the Stagehead Puzzleman to free the Lupinrangers and Ranger X from that video show dimension. So basically, once the Lupinrangers and Ranger X were free from that dimension, so basically working together as a team, they managed to got the listed item from the Stagehead Foot Soldier and use the power of the Solid Striker. Using the power of the Solid Striker, and Ranger X became super. So Ranger X used the power of the Solid Striker to activate his paralyzer mode, and he destroyed the safe head in. And he destroyed the safe head Patranger, and they got back all the lister items. So basically, along with the safe head lister item as well. So anyway, so basically, that's what happened with the Lupinrangers when with that safe head Patranger foot soldier. So basically, they got free from the dimension, stole the lister item from the safe head, and destroy and right there used his battle to destroy the safe head Patranger foot soldier, and basically the day was the day was saved because of the good striker. So anyway, later that evening after him later that evening back at the Patranger's headquarters office, after hearing Patranger, briefing about the Lupinrangers, so basically, Commissioner Hilltop said that you guys can, I want you guys to do. So basically, after hearing Patranger briefing about the true identity of the Lupinrangers, Commissioner Hilltop gave the Patranger permission to the people at the beach restaurant who are the Lupinrangers and whatnot once again. So basically, and that's when Patranger begged, that's when Patranger begged. So basically, that's when Patranger begged Commissioner Hilltop and the rest of the Patrangers prove that the people who work at the beach restaurant who are the Lupinrangers are not the Lupinrangers. So basically, he was pleading Commissioner Hilltop and the rest of the Patrangers, before we start, surveilling them, give me the opportunity to prove that they're not they're not really the Lupinrangers. So anyway, while that was going on, we see back at the game dimension, we see Amigo talking to Dogan, who is the boss of the game with, and turns out that Dogan offered Amigo to be the next new leader of the Greenwich gang. So basically, Amigo was happy that that the boss wants him to be the next leader of the Greenwich gang. So basically, once the boss told Amigo that, you will be the next new leader of the Greenwich, Amigo to go see Goss at her laboratory and tell Goss that, I have a job for you. So basically, name your price. So basically, Goss was like, oh, I can. What's the job? And this is how the episode ended with Amigo getting the good news that he's going to be the next leader of the gang, and offering Goss to do a job for him. So basically, this is how the episode ended, with Amigo being told by the boss of the Greenwich gang he's going to be the new leader of the Greenwich gang, and asking Goss to do a job for him. And this is how the episode ended. So anyway, this episode was not basically, this episode was just a flashback episode, but it was a good flashback episode. So anyway, this episode was alright. So anyway, like always, this is Michael from Screw Review. Sign off. 1.